Video will be concerning a video of mine that was flagged a little less than a month ago. I have another YouTube channel where a video was flagged a month ago, and then this month, almost exactly to the day, my channel got flagged again. In both cases on that channel, the video flagging was completely inappropriate, unexplainable, and very suspicious. In this case, we're going to be predicting that on December 17th of 2022, I will be flagged on this channel because on November 17th of 2022, I received a flagging. The video was about the Q anon or Q Clearance Patriot meme from 2017 and how it's been basically assembled and built by the people who ran the website that it was posted to, and evidence proving this. Now, I want to point out that it was resurrected at one point, and that's what the video was about. And that video was taken down for a very specific reason that Google and YouTube gave. First of all, you notice it just says community guideline strike. It doesn't say what kind, like it's flagging a connection to porn or spam like what happened on the other channel. This one is saying just generally community guideline strike, which is usually a weasel out where they don't tell you why, at least not specifically. This is a copy of the email converted into this pseudo color thing. Our team has reviewed your content, and unfortunately, we think it violates our community guidelines. We've removed the following content from your YouTube channel. How Q Clearance Patriot Anon 2017 through 2020 was resurrected in 2022, and why it was doing it. Now, this video is going to be titled very similarly, and it'll be much more clear. The point of the QAnon character, the meme, the invention on the internet by a set of people, is specifically to deflect any bad news so that the true believers can fixate on QAnon bullshit stories rather than watching the news tell them that they are on the bad side. And it was blamed as content glorifying or inciting acts of violence, which it did not. I told people, don't be violent. I told people that the people that I'm complaining about are the ones inciting violence, indirectly, by the way, and or directly. I'm not heralding QAnon as a good thing. I'm talking about it being literally a distraction and a chunk of propaganda and rhetoric built to defy reality itself. We review educational and documentary, artistic, and scientific content on a case-by-case basis. No, actually, YouTube and Google, you don't. You just flag things and tell people to go fuck themselves. If you've got a hard-on for some YouTube channel, you're going to do that. Limited exceptions are made for content with sufficient and appropriate context and where the purpose of posting is clear. I made it very clear that I'm debunking and denigrating the bad guys. That doesn't change anything. Now, I want to point out why would I do this video again? Number one, I'm doing this as an experiment and calling to your attention that on the 17th of this month, I predict Google and YouTube will flag whatever they can find on my channel, or nothing if necessary, to give me another content strike. Now, the reason I'm saying that last part is I have received a strike for a video that didn't exist that I didn't upload. I've also received a strike for a video that was a broken upload that amounted to a zero-length video file, 0 bytes across, with a black screen with no audio. Google and YouTube have no problem at all flagging and taking down channels for made-up reasons if it suits whatever they want to do. If they want to take your channel down, they will. And obviously, I'm assuming at this point that they don't care about the content. They're just going to flag me to death. So let's review the video. You're going to act as the reviewer for Google. How Q Clearance Patriot Anon 2017 through 2020 was resurrected in 2022 and what it deflected. Now, this is the original version of it here, and it included some stuff that maybe they got triggered by, so I'm removing it and I'm getting to the point of it, and I'm going to read it again. But what I read in the video is actually what I have. I grabbed a transcript. What I had in the video is basically what I'm going to put up on the screen now. A web board sometimes converts the user's passwords into a tripcode. This is done using a cryptographic mechanism and based on using a salt to scramble it so you can't get the password back out, but it does mean you have a unique name called a tripcode. Now, the only people who were server owners that could have done that on the web board we're talking about were named Paul Furber, Jim, and Ron Watkins. And one of these two, one of them, went on the net, did an interview, and basically accidentally admitted that he is the one that is doing QAnon. He was the one who was being QAnon that month. It is him. It's not somebody who had a 1954 era Atomic Energy Act, Department of Energy Q Clearance access authorization for top secret restricted data or nuclear weapon related data or national security information. None of these knuckleheads have any of those kind of passwords. And also I want to point out something that the President of the United States, Donald Trump at the time, didn't either. 2017, October 28th, Q Clearance Patriot QAnon first posted. And after posting 5,000 or more 4chan, 8chan, and 8kun posts, all of these being somewhat or directly related to people who were in charge of those websites and or these two guys, or these three guys here, QAnon stopped posting with the tripcode. Now again, that tripcode is based on using a cryptographic hash or salt and the password. Now you can keep using your password if you wanted to have a password trail. A lot of people do that because they want to lend themselves a sense of authenticity. But if you do a tripcode, that's based on that salt not changing. In 2021, the salt and or the hash was reset at 8kun. Any new real Q post wouldn't have the same tripcode, but the people running the website, Paul Furber, Jim, and Ron Watkins, could have come in and said, admin here, it's the same person, the tripcode matches. But the point is, QAnon started posting again with the same tripcode, which is not mathematically or computationally possible unless these guys stepped in and gave this person essentially the right to always be posted with that. That's extremely special treatment. But the problem with it is most people running boards like that will tell you that you can't do that unless you're the one running the server. So it had to be Paul Furber or Jim or Ron Watkins. Period, full stop. That's why it is proof that since they don't have any of these clearances or access to information, the entire subject of QAnon is a fucking lie. It always has been. What was it created for? From 2017 to 2020, Donald Trump, actually before that obviously, but from that period of time, these three people, or more maybe, decided to run interference. Every time a story came out that made Donald Trump look bad or made the Republican Party look bad, they'd post fucking lying stories wherever they could and ask all of you out there to repeat them. And a lot of people did. QAnon started posting again. How and why was this 2017 to 2020 fact deflector resurrected in 2022? And the reasoning behind it is pretty simple. The news that week. Now, this is just a bunch of archive links here. They originally went to New York Post and various other websites showing what the news of the day was during this week. Judge rejects Fox Corporation's attempt to toss the Dominion lawsuit. Fresh Oathkeeper indictments returned in the January 6th Capitol attack research and or investigation. Trump attempting to coerce Justice Department officials outlined by the panel. Trump justice officials cited pressure from him to overturn the 2020 election. He was interfering on every level. It made him look bad. It made Fox look bad. So what happened? Whoever was running 8kun at the time, and whatever other places that were using the same the same tripcode for the QAnon character, all of these sites decided to end an undue level of validity to the postings by basically hacking their own website so that somebody could have an account could have it. And also want to point out that one of these two here, or Paul, one of these three people, started posting by accident as QAnon with their personal account, and then posting their personal information like they weren't supposed to be in the QAnon account. So it showed obviously that the website operators were the person portraying QAnon. Does that invalidate anything QAnon put out? The answer to that is yes. And again, the only reason this was resurrected is that Donald Trump and other people in the Republican Party and in the quote-unquote movement needed somebody, some mythical character, to come along and say, no, here's the truth because I'm an insider. None of these three knuckleheads are insiders. None of them had a 1953 era established access that really just gives you access to nuclear weapon related data and nuclear power plant related data, and that's it. It does not mean you have any other data. None of them had any of these clearances. They lied about it, and they went around as QAnon. I'm not sure how anybody could say this is glorifying violence, but YouTube and Google chose to. Again, they chose to take down a video that, according to everybody's lookup, supported their position against Trump, if you want to say that YouTube and Google are anti-Trump. And they flagged my video and said that I was glorifying or inciting acts of violence when I wasn't. And they took down this video here, which I can give you an archive of. It has to go through the Wayback Machine because none of this will materialize under any other archiving, because this is actually a Google cache. And the Google cache still has a backup copy of it, so I was able to get it. So I'll be leaving a link to all of this, and I'll be giving you this version of it here and the previous version here, cut and pasted, with all the links and an imager that shows you probably this image as the thumbnail for the video. And again, I want to point out, why am I doing this? The 17th of last month, they flagged my channel. They have to flag me 3 times in 3 months to shut my channel down. They just showed their hand by flagging the other channel frivolously, almost exactly a month and 1 day after the last time they flagged it. I'm assuming on the 17th or 18th of this month, this channel will be flagged into silence as well. So I have to spend the entire time on this channel finding every video I have and getting rid of every single citation and link and hiding them behind some sort of archiving. And I have thousands of videos, and I don't know how I'm going to do that. Once I go silent, remember that I might pop up like a turd in a punch bowl later, but the rest of the information is going to be this. I'm going to have a video where you can find all my videos that are stuffed on the net someplace, and you can go watch them there if you want. They're all on alternative platforms. And by the way, YouTube is threatening to flag you for having your content duplicated other places because they don't like competition. Wonderful world we live in. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And let's see what happens on the 17th or 18th of this month and see if I was right about how evil Google has become.